Welcome back to Sir Boats Yacht, the place where history and marine design sail side by side. Today, we're not just reviewing a modern yacht or futuristic cruiser.
Instead, we're diving deep into the turbulent waters of 16th-century naval innovation to explore a legendary warship that changed the course of Korean history. The mighty turtle ship, also known as the Geobukseon. With its dragon-headed bow, spiked armored roof, and fearsome silhouette, the turtle ship stands out as one of the most iconic vessels ever built.
But this isn't just a relic of folklore. It was a revolutionary piece of naval engineering, a floating fortress designed to outmaneuver, outlast, and outgun its enemies in a time when sea warfare was evolving rapidly. So fasten your metaphorical life jackets and prepare to embark on a journey through time as we uncover the features, design, and sheer genius behind Korea's most formidable maritime creation.
Let's begin with the ship's key features. The turtle ship wasn't named for nothing.
Its most distinct characteristic was its armored roof, curved like the shell of a turtle and studded with iron spikes.
These spikes served a specific purpose: to prevent enemy soldiers from boarding during close combat.
At the time, boarding and hand-to-hand fighting were common tactics in naval warfare. But the turtle ship turned that on its head by making boarding nearly impossible. It transformed from a warship into a moving deterrent. The ship was covered in iron plating, a rarity in its time and one of the earliest recorded uses of metal armor on naval vessels. This made it highly resistant to arrows, fire, and even cannonballs, offering a layer of protection that most other wooden warships lacked.
Another standout feature was the dragon-shaped head mounted at the bow. While it served a psychological purpose, terrifying enemy fleets before the first cannonball was even fired, it wasn't just decorative.
According to historical records, this dragon head could emit smoke to obscure the ship's movements or even spew cannon fire. Yes, you heard that right. This wasn't just a fearsome hood ornament, it was a functional, tactical innovation. The mouth of the dragon could be used to shoot cannonballs or release sulfur smoke that blinded and disoriented the enemy. In a way, it was the ancient equivalent of modern stealth technology.
In terms of size, the turtle ship wasn't the largest vessel afloat, but it was among the most powerful for its time. It typically measured around 30 to 37 meters in length and about 10 meters wide. It was powered by both sail and oar, allowing it to operate effectively in various weather conditions. This hybrid propulsion system gave it an edge in maneuverability, especially in the narrow straits and coastal waters around Korea. The combination of manpower and wind allowed it to accelerate quickly and change direction with surprising agility, a key advantage in close-quarter combat and tactical positioning. Now let's move on to the design, which was a blend of innovation, intimidation, and tactical efficiency.
The hull was modeled after traditional Korean Panakshan ships, with a flat bottom and broad beam, which made it stable and hard to capsize. But unlike standard warships of the time, the turtle ship had a fully enclosed deck. This enclosed roof protected rowers and marines inside from enemy fire while allowing the ship to maintain a low and aggressive profile. The upper deck was outfitted with multiple cannons on all sides, ensuring 360-degree offensive capability. Most naval ships of the era focused their firepower forward or to the sides, but the turtle ship could strike from every direction. This meant it didn't have to reposition to engage enemies, it was always ready to fire.
The layout inside was just as strategic. Below the armored roof, the ship was divided into compartments. The lower deck housed the oarsmen, who were protected by the hull and armored roof above. The midsection was typically reserved for cannon crews and soldiers, while the upper deck could be accessed through internal hatches and ladders. These internal passages made it easy for crew members to move between sections without exposing themselves to enemy fire. The enclosed structure also helped maintain morale and cohesion during battles since the crew could focus on their roles without the chaos of open-deck combat. One of the lesser-known but equally important aspects of the turtle ship was its ventilation and smoke dispersal systems. With cannons firing, sulfur smoke being used, and dozens of men exerting themselves inside an enclosed space, managing air quality was critical. The design incorporated vents along the roof and sides, allowing smoke and heat to escape while keeping rain and arrows out. This seemingly small feature added to the ship's sustainability during prolonged engagements.
When it comes to interior features, we're not talking about teak decks and luxury salons like we usually do here on Sir Boats Yacht.
But the turtle ship had its own kind of luxury, a brutal, efficient kind. The internal compartments were reinforced with wooden beams and metal plating to absorb shock from enemy fire. There were no plush chairs, but there were battle stations strategically arranged to maximize effectiveness. Every cannon had an ammunition storage nearby. Every soldier had a clear path to combat positions. Everything was designed with function over form. But even then, it's hard not to admire the sheer craftsmanship that went into building a warship of this caliber with 16th-century tools.
One particularly innovative interior feature was the segmented rowing area. Rather than one long bank of oarsmen, the turtle ship used multiple rows of short oars operated by small teams. This modular approach meant that if one team was disabled or needed rest, others could continue rowing. It also allowed for better control in tight maneuvers, giving the helmsman more precise steering capability. The rudder itself was centrally placed and operated with a tiller system, giving the ship decent directional responsiveness for its time.
Performance-wise, the turtle ship was not built for speed but for dominance. That said, its hybrid propulsion made it faster than many sail-only or oar-only ships. In battle, it didn't need to outrun its enemies. It needed to outfight and outlast them. Its real performance strengths lay in its stability, maneuverability, and firepower. In combat scenarios, the ship could rotate on its axis to aim cannons in different directions without changing course. It could also charge directly into enemy formations, using its spiked roof and forward momentum to break lines and cause chaos. In terms of endurance, the ship was a floating fortress. It could sustain damage without compromising structural integrity.
Its design reduced the risk of fire spreading, and its metal cladding gave it a serious edge in defense. It could also carry enough supplies and ammunition for extended operations, allowing Admiral Yi Sun-sin, the brilliant strategist behind its deployment, to use it in long campaigns without needing to resupply frequently. The synergy between ship design and military tactics was near perfect. The turtle ship wasn't just a tool, it was a weaponized strategy.
Now let's talk about the unique selling points of the turtle ship. If you were a 16th-century naval commander shopping for warships, the Geobukseon would be your ultimate pick.
It combined offensive firepower, defensive durability, and psychological warfare into a single platform. Its spike-covered deck was revolutionary. Its 360-degree cannon coverage was unmatched. Its dragon head was part weapon, part scare tactic. And perhaps most importantly, it allowed fewer ships to do more damage. A fleet of turtle ships could disrupt and destroy enemy fleets much larger in number. This force multiplication made it one of the most efficient naval investments of its era. Another unique aspect was its cultural symbolism. The turtle ship wasn't just a piece of military hardware, it was a representation of Korean resilience and ingenuity. In every plank and spike, you see the story of a nation defending itself against overwhelming odds. It was a morale booster for Korean sailors and a nightmare for Japanese invaders. The mere sight of the turtle ship on the horizon was often enough to rattle enemy formations. It introduced the concept of psychological dominance long before radar jamming and cyber warfare.
And then there's the legacy. While no original turtle ships survive today, reconstructions and scale models are on display across Korea, reminding us of its importance. Modern naval historians still debate the finer points of its construction and capabilities, but few question its effectiveness. It has been the subject of films, documentaries, and even video games. It has become a symbol of national pride and maritime brilliance. And rightfully so, because even by today's standards, the turtle ship holds its own in terms of design logic and battle readiness. For a YouTube channel like Sir Boats Yacht, which usually dives into luxury catamarans and sleek cruisers, you might wonder why we're covering a centuries-old warship. But the truth is, the turtle ship is as important to naval history as any superyacht or mega-cruiser. It represents a pivot point in maritime design. It shows us that boats are not just about leisure or transport. They are expressions of human strategy, culture, and survival. And in that sense, the turtle ship might be one of the most meaningful vessels we've ever featured. So there you have it, the Geobukseon, the turtle ship, a marvel of wood, metal, smoke, and fire.
A war machine with the heart of a nation beating inside its hull. From its spiked armored shell to its dragon-faced bow, every inch of it was built with purpose and precision. It wasn't the biggest or fastest, but it was arguably the most brilliant warship of its time. If you enjoyed this dive into naval history and want to see more iconic vessels from past and present, don't forget to like, subscribe, and sail along with us here at Sir Boats Yacht. Until next time, this is your captain from Sir Boats Yacht, signing off with a salute to the past and an eye on the horizon.